Hello, this is Monique McDonald. And if you're looking for more one-on-one help with your voice and how to make it magnetic, I want to invite you to check out my coaching packages at themagneticvoice.com. Then click Transform with Monique and book a complimentary connection call. Let's see if we can find a package for you that will fit all of your needs. I'm so grateful for your listening to the Magnetic Voice podcast, and I can't wait to meet you and continue the conversation. Take care. See you soon.
Hello, everybody. This is Dave Kropf, producer for the Experience of the Soul podcast channel. With just a quick programming note, unfortunately, Monique was really under the weather over the last couple of weeks, and so we weren't able to get a show for this week. So instead, we are rolling one of our favorites at the new year. This is from episode 33 of 2022, New Year, New Voice. Welcome to the Magnetic Voice, here on the Experience of the Soul podcast channel, a show where speakers and singers learn how to be more magnetic and align their voices to the divine within. Today, episode 33, New Year, New Voice. And now your host, Monique McDonald.
Hello and welcome to the Magnetic Voice podcast. My name is Monique McDonald and I'm here with Shannon Kropf on this beautiful new year.
Yes.
First Saturday of the new year.
Happy New Year. Woo! Where's my noisemaker?
Hello, Shannon.
Hi,
How were
Monique.
your holidays?
Oh, beautiful. Just in the last show, we were talking about, sort of the celebration of darkness before the light comes. I love Christmas time because I love that it's dark early. I know that's crazy. Nobody loves that, but because I love candles and I love lights and I love all the merriment and the colors and all the stuff that extra darkness brings with it. So mine were gorgeous. How were yours?
Mine were beautiful. I was with my dear friends and their children, and it is something so special when you celebrate Christmas with kids.
It is.
There's just, it brings out the child in you.
It does. It absolutely
And
does.
I always think of it as the celebration of light.
Mm-hmm.
And I did something that I never did before, which was started on my New Year's, quote unquote, New Year's resolutions in December.
Oh.
I started really planning, as you know, for the year of 2022.
Yep.
And so this January is kind of filled with let's get them, right? Usually it's kind of sleepy over the holidays, time off, and give me a moment to wake up to the new year.
Yes.
But I'm raring to go.
Awesome. That is great.
Yeah. And so now I'm kind of excited about what I wanted to talk today about was finding our new voice. Finding our new voice of manifestation.
Right.
So often we get stuck in saying the same things to ourselves over and over again. We might have done some things over the holidays that, might have been an overindulgence or two.
Yes.
And sometimes January is a time to sort of beat ourselves up. And I just want to invite everyone within the sound of my voice to just let go and release whatever happened over the holidays, whether it might have been a moment with a family member that didn't go the way you wanted it to, or your diet didn't go the way you wanted it to,
or your diet didn't go, period.
Yeah, it's a time to really just let go with love.
Yeah.
The old year. My mom, was raised in the Caribbean, and instead of New Year's Eve,
Hmm.
she would call it Old Year's Night.
Oh my God, I love that.
Isn't that great?
Oh, wow.
And then New Year's Day,
Right.
right? Which I always loved that because it it was it was not something to, it's honoring
Mm,
the passage of time or the
right.
turning of the wheel
Yep.
of the seasons and the time. In our last podcast, we were talking about time and
Hmm.
how, at that whole month of December and some of November is all
Right.
about that race to the end of the year.
Yes.
And then here we are, and we're full of dreams and we're full of hope for the future.
Right.
And I wanted to talk about, rather than a resolution of what
Mm,
I'm not going to do anymore,
right.
I want to talk about what are we going to manifest?
Mm,
Because we can tap into this voice of manifestation.
hmm.
And what I mean by that is, when we do our self-talk, there's always fun for me, not so much for my clients, to talk about the tone of voice
Hmm.
we use with ourselves.
Right.
And I just want to invite everyone to find, instead of that voice of, I got to do
I
this, I
shouldn't have
got to
done
do
this.
that, or I've got to change this, I've got to, that, I call it the voice of the tyrant, or,
Yes. I have that too, Monique. I thought there
yeah.
was only one and it was mine.
No, I bet you'll find that a lot of people listening have that other voice in their head. And I wanted to explore today what the voice of manifestation would sound like.
Ooh, interesting.
Interesting, right?
Yeah. I'm particularly interested because, in nobody told me that once you manifest what you want, you keep manifesting after that.
I
I was
love that
like,
because
I
you are a mighty manifester, Miss Shannon.
I am, and I'm learning every year. I learn that more and more. But in 2018, I set out on this very particular. I wanted this to happen, and this to happen, and this to happen. And within a year, it all did. And then somebody was asking me a few months later, okay, what are you manifesting? I was like, I just meant, and I got into this really weird, like lazy, like, I don't know what's next. So that's another tone of voice, like, uh.
And I love that you just demonstrated it for us. Thank you for that. That's awesome.
So I'm super excited because I am in a place where I'm ready to do some manifesting. And it's
Well, I
great.
love what you just shared with us, because it is true that we are trained not to believe that
Hmm.
our dreams will manifest,
That's right.
that we can claim how we want our life to be lived,
Yes.
who we want to become.
Hmm.
And so we sort of go on these journeys with, mentors who are going to take us. And Cynthia
Yes.
Alice is one who has this
Yes.
amazing program, Dream Big. And you set down these goals, you write them down so that you
Hmm.
can see them and feel them,
Hmm.
and do your affirmations, and then it manifests. And it's
Right.
like, it's I think it's a combination of two things. I think first, there's a shock
Hmm.
when something manifests for us, because we are so trained that we have to work hard
Yes.
in order to receive
Hmm.
our goals and our dreams.
Yep.
And manifestations usually don't work like that.
Right.
they just
They
show
just
up.
show up.
You kind of keep going along your merry way, keeping with your intention,
Yes.
doing you,
Yes.
being you, letting life unfold. And then all of a sudden you made this manifestation. That happened to me with writing the book last year,
Right.
you know?
Right.
I had even forgotten that it was something that I wanted to claim for myself
Right.
in 2021.
And,
And so, yeah.
sorry, I just wanted to say a quick little aside. In Christmas 2019, back in the BC before COVID, we did a Christmas show at CCU, and one of my dear friends who I haven't seen in a while, and I can't wait to go to breakfast or something, she was saying, well, what are you going to do for the person in this role? We haven't found this person yet, you know. And I was like, well, I don't know. And it's like, 12 days till show or something, maybe not that much, but it's time. And I was just, I don't know, they'll come, and I heard her talking to somebody else, and she said, man, Shannon walks in a lot of faith.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, I do, because that's the nice churchy way of saying I believe that I am manifesting because I am putting the energy for the right person out into the universe.
That's right.
And it's an incredible thing to watch. And I didn't struggle, and I didn't ask around, and somebody walked in and said, I think my kid's perfect for this. And I went, I bet they are. Come on. And it was beautiful.
I love that. I love that. And that brings me to the second thing that I think happens once we've created a manifestation. So first is the shock of, did that really happen?
Did that really just happen? It's just coincidence,
right?
Right.
And then the second piece of that is the demonstration of, I like to call it intention, working towards a goal, and leaving room for spirit, right?
Right.
That's sort of the trifecta of manifestation in my estimation. Once it happens, I think what happens to us is like, ooh, that was amazing. I don't want to jinx it.
Right.
I don't want to jinx it and ask for anything else.
Yep.
I don't.
Absolutely.
Let me just coast here for a while because I really can't believe that happened. I'm in shock. And who am I to ask for more?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Who am I to ask for more? And I think that's something that we have to discuss today as we're talking about that voice of manifestation. It is our divine right as children of God to manifest and create the best and highest that the universe has for us over and over and over again. And the more we manifest and the more we create, the greater we are expanded within so that we can receive more and more blessings. And our job is to dare to ask for more.
Yeah. And the idea that we're created in God's image, God being the God of your understanding, doesn't mean that we're created as, old white men with beards. Right? It's not an image thing. Let's say it this way. Something we work with in this day and age a lot, a template. We're created.
Ooh, I love that.
We're created in the template of God. And God is not just a creative force. God is creation. Therefore, my template is creation.
Amen. Yes.
So, who am I to ask for more? I'm the creator. Right?
Let's just take a deep breath on that one. Exactly right. So now I have a question for you and everyone within the sound of my voice today. What is that one thing you might be afraid to claim for yourself this year because you don't dare to ask for it?
My inner voice is going,
And thank you for that, because that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
That it's like this inner, my mother used to call it Radio Hanoi, that sort of all the thoughts happening at
Yes.
once so that you can't hear any.
Right.
It's kind of a short circuit of body, mind, spirit, and emotion.
And, just because I'm going through this process right here, right now, as we're recording this, it's interesting that the first things that came to mind, I immediately discarded.
Yes.
Like, oh no, that's not a valid enough or good enough, or I should want, to cure world hunger instead of this thing that came into my mind.
And
what
that's
if I
what
just
we
went
do.
with it? What if I just went with my first thoughts?
It would be radical.
Right.
It would be radical.
It would.
It would mean that you were willing to step out of the thing that grips us all from within.
Mm-hmm.
And that is self-doubt.
Yeah.
It is the scourge of the earth. It is the thing that I want to eradicate this year.
Mm-hmm.
Self-doubt. Because if we're doubting ourselves, we're in fact doubting our voice of manifestation.
Right.
Our divine voice.
Mm-hmm.
So what was it? Yes, that one. No pressure. Just say it in front of thousands of millions of people,
whatever.
Whoever's listening.
Well, here's the first thing that popped into my head. And I watched Dave walk through what this looks like.
Ooh, cool.
First thing that popped in my head was, I want some money. And I don't mean like, oh, I want to go buy Gucci handbags and, I don't need a new car. I just don't want to ever worry about money ever, ever, ever again. Right?
Right.
And when Dave first thought about that during Cynthia Alice's Dream Big thing, he was like, that's not a noble enough thing. And Cynthia Alice was like, whatever, dude, go for it.
Exactly.
I don't want money to ever be a hindrance in giving something to someone or supporting somebody or even me walking out my own dreams, right? So it is noble, actually. But the gut reaction is, nope.
And it is something that, as entrepreneurs or solopreneurs, we don't think about, because being able to attract money or manifest money for ourselves, what it's actually doing is allowing us to make a bigger impact.
That's right.
On the world.
That's exactly
on our communities.
Right. Yeah.
So that we can step into bigger projects and help more people.
Yes.
But because of our training, our society, our culture, money's bad and wrong.
Right. Exactly.
And more important than that, I just want to say this out loud because I think it's something that happens to us. Before you even allowed the word to come out of your mouth, you dismissed it and judged it as wrong.
Yep.
And so often we steal our dreams from ourselves.
Oh, that hurts.
Because, doesn't it? Oh, it hurts. Because our mind and that horrible villain, self-doubt, and our upbringing that said money is the root of all evil, and how horrible is that? And money, of course, money is the identified one, but there's so many things.
But the love of money is the root of all evil.
Thank you. Yes.
Greed is trouble. We're not going there. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So many people have just anyway, so our next podcast is going to be our attitude about money, coming up with Monique and Shannon. No, but really, the attitude is so twisted about money, and
it really is. It really is.
But
So,
the
and
greater
I
point,
just
of course. Yes, go ahead.
is how we rob ourselves
Right,
of our
exactly.
dreams.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about one more thing before we close out our podcast today, and it's something that I learned from Tony Robbins, and it really plugs into activating that voice of
Mm-hmm.
manifestation and celebrating the new year with a new voice. And it is affirmations versus incantations.
Interesting. Say more
Right?
things about that.
I'm gonna. So affirmations we know very well as
Mm-hmm.
spoken words of encouragement and
Mm-hmm.
positive thinking and thinking positively, giving ourselves positive self-talk, right? And it's great. And I'm a
Yes.
huge fan.
Oh, yes.
As you know, I
Of
end
course.
each one of my blogs with an affirmation.
Yes, you do.
But according to Tony Robbins, and I've tried it, and I got to tell you, it's something kind of magical. Sometimes affirmations do not have the transformation that we would like because it's only our mind and our voice.
Mm-hmm.
What he calls an incantation is embodying the meaning behind the
Right.
words
Right.
so that you're activating your entire physiology.
Mm-hmm.
You're activating your body where all of your emotions are stored.
Right.
You're activating your voice, which is right, that voice of
Mm-hmm.
manifestation, that voice of power. What is our greatest asset that the universe has given us, which
Mm-hmm.
is our voice, and speaking out loud things
Right.
so that our mind can take it in.
Mm-hmm.
And so we use our body, our mind, and our voice in order to change our state so that we are feeling as though what we
Yes.
have declared is already here and now
Yes.
present.
Yes.
Incantations are meant to reverberate throughout our bodies and minds so that it alters our sense of self.
That's okay. I'm on board with that.
Are you on board with that? So it's so funny, and I laugh at myself all the time because I sit and I get all zenned out, and I do my affirmations and blah 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 blah, and then I get on my trampoline and I start jumping and I start saying, "I am fabulous."
For those of you who can't see Monique, she just punched her wind chimes because she was so excited to declare that I am fabulous.
Sorry about that, everyone. Oh, I love my wind chimes.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Anyway, you can imagine activating your voice, your body, and your state of mind.
Yeah.
So I want to invite everyone within the sound of my voice today to stop robbing themselves of their dreams before they even reach their lips.
Yes.
And to embody and dare to ask for more.
Yes.
Because it's the new year. Let's try something new.
Yes.
Yay! Shall we take that into meditation?
Let's go.
I wonder
Come on.
how I'm going to do that. Like I'm going to want to get
Like-
zen, but I'm kind of excited.
Right.
So we'll see.
We'll find out. Stay tuned.
And so now I invite you to breathe, allowing your stomach to move, feeling the air moving into your stomach, expanding you from the inside out, and gently exhaling, and moving your stomach and breathing from the lowest part of you, the most sacred part of you, so that we activate our diaphragm, which lets our minds know that we are safe. And as we breathe today, we are allowing that tingle of brand new things, the tingle of beautiful new beginnings, the tingle of life being born, the beginning of the new year and the new you. That little tingle in our stomachs that we tend to call fear, it could also be the beginnings of new life. It can also be the voice of manifestation, the energies of new voices being awakened in you, new dreams to dream, new goals to invite into manifestation. Breathing and being okay with that little tingle. Not needing to do anything about it, not needing to stop it or stifle it. Just opening to it, expanding, being willing to not know what it is or what it's becoming. Just breathe and let it vibrate you. Now tune into that part of you that dares to ask for more, that part of you that is waiting to be unleashed, that dream that I now give you permission to dream. What is that one thing that you are willing to manifest this year? Yes, that one that makes that little tingle in your tummy happen. Invite it in. Let your voice receive it with love. Feel your entire body vibrating with the excitement of the manifestation, as though it's already happened. Let yourself feel dreams come true. Let yourself know that it is safe to manifest the highest and best that God has for you. And the entire universe is waiting on tiptoe for you to dream big. Speak it. Let it manifest in your physiology. Let your entire being dare to dream. That's it. That's it. Claim it. It's yours. It's yours right now. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for your dreams. I can't wait to see how they manifest this year. Blessings to you, dear one. Blessings.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of The Magnetic Voice here on the Experience of the Soul podcast channel. This channel is made possible because of listeners just like you. If you would like to support the channel with your tax-deductible contribution on an ongoing basis or through a one-time gift, head over to experienceofthesoul.com/support. The Magnetic Voice is copyright 2024, Monique McDonald, all rights reserved. Our theme music is composed by Dave Kropf and used with permission. The Experience of the Soul podcast channel is a production of 818 Studios.
Hey friends, Sean here, your Experience of the Soul producer. I want to take a moment to tell you about something truly exciting. The SoulWorks online community, created by your host, Cynthia Alice Anderson, and available on the Mighty Networks app. If you're looking for a place where you can explore your spiritual path, connect with others, and grow in a meaningful way, then this is for you. SoulWorks is so much more than an online community. It's a safe, inclusive space for spiritual exploration, self-discovery, and personal transformation. Inside the community, you'll find everything from uplifting spiritual studies to soul-centered growth practices, meditations, affirmations, and so much more. It's a space where you'll always be supported and never judged. The best part, membership is free. You'll have access to powerful resources, inspiring content, and a supportive group of like-minded people who are all on their own unique spiritual journeys. And if you're ready to dive deeper, there are premium options available to enhance your experience with a live Monday night talk series and extended, deeper meditations. If you're seeking a place to connect, grow, and nurture your soul, we would love to have you join us in the SoulWorks community and see where this journey can take you. Visit my.soulworkscommunity.com today.